things that one doesn't stress is one of the fears of the elections as well, is that it's at a very critical juncture. Do I think, knowing Nigeria, that if they rig the elections or something like that happens, there's going to be mass protests? No, not really. 4 months ago, I would have been like, yeah, it's going to be, people will not. Well, 4 months later, I just see all the same signs, all the same looks, all the same deja vu. So, but that being said, you never take anything for granted. You'd rather, there's a basketball analogy I haven't been using for a while. There's a sport analogy, generally. Basketball, football, and soccer in America, but football. They say you have to find a good sport to make a change in terms of you have to know.
You were frozen for a minute. You have to repeat the football analogy.
Oh, okay, so there's a football analogy. Like you have to know a good sport to make a change. Yeah, I'm making a change in terms of by the time he's undefeated or in everybody or whatever, people have to move. You move people. It's better to move somebody 1 year too early than 1 year too late. When we say, hey, an interim national government, it's better to do this earlier because it's 70 years too late already.
Absolutely.
Now let the change come on itself. If the change of that magnitude, if it turns into a revolution, great. We're not talking of just, it's better to have a revolutionary political structure that tries to freeze Nigeria than have just a revolution. A revolution could turn out well. I'm not calling for one, but could turn out well. That's what Shore does. It could turn out well. It's possible. But when you roll the dice on a revolution, you really don't know where it's going to end up.
The outcome
is any guide. Those things end up in wildly. When people look back at the revolution and they're like, man, they start having nostalgia for the evil they had before, you know, and then people end up playing all these devil's games or what was better or what. And I could point to so many current countries that have that situation now, whether it's North Korea, whether it's Iran, so many of them that, and sometimes you have multiple revolutions, like the essential, even though you could have different conversations on the French Revolution, you had multiple revolutions inside that revolution. But the reality is you don't know where you've got no idea. It could be Somalia for the next 50 years. It's the same thing when people tell me, I know there's a little bit of time. Maybe we'll get into it later on. The Simon Ekbas, we'll get into it in another episode.
Yeah, we'll do a different episode on that.
But it's similar to that. Like, if you don't try and address a problem in time, if you let it address itself, you've got no idea.
You can't control.
Play out. So that's all I have to say. We don't know if anything sparks tomorrow. We have no idea. I please. Zero.
Wonderful.